Last week, I demonstrated how to cut fabric with your Cricut and add it to a shirt using Ultra Heat and Bond. This week, I'm going to show you a different method. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, we are working with fabric again, but I'm going to show you a different method for adding fabric to your shirt, your bag, or other items. We will get right into looking at the materials, and then we'll dive into Cricut Design Space. At the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please remember to do the things like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's get started. The materials I'm using for this tutorial include my Cricut Maker. I'm using the original fine point blade. I'm using Siser Easyweed Adhesive. You can get this from Atlanta Vinyl. And I'm using 3 colors of Siser Stripflock Pro. I'm using white, navy blue, and red. I'm using a black comfort color shirt, this fabric that I purchased from Michael's, and a green standard grip mat. The fonts that I'm using were downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website. Let's go into Cricut Design Space and put the design together. I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is go over to the left panel and click on the T for text. And I'm going to use a font called University that I downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website. And I thought I selected it, but I guess I had not. I'll go back and select it. And I'll close out the font options. I'm changing my text to, I'm going to attach the text. That helps me when I want to resize it. I want my text to be wider and taller. I typically like for my designs to be in the width of the range of about 10.7, but this will be a matter of personal preference depending on what you're making. I'm changing the color of the background to this light gray because I am going to add a white offset. All right, I'm going to add the offset. It comes in at a default of 0.25. I'm going to change that to 0.18 and I'll click apply. Now the offset automatically changes to that gray color. I'm going to change it to white. Now it's important to understand what we have here. The black layer will represent my fabric and the white layer will represent the offset. But I also need a layer for the Siser Easyweed Adhesive. And in order to get that, what I'm going to do is first select that first layer, the black layer, and instead of having it attached, I'm going to weld it. And once I weld it, now I have 2 layers in my layers panel. I'll select both layers because I want to slice this. And remember, slice only works when you have 2 layers selected. So now I'm going to click slice, and now I have 3 layers. I have my original black layer. I have a white layer behind it that's the same exact size, and I have an offset. Okay, I'm going to put all those layers back together and we will continue with this process. The next thing I'm going to do is add another offset to the white offset. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have only the white offset selected. It's the biggest layer. And I am going to click Effects and Offset. And once I do, I'll add a small offset to the white layer. And right now it's on 0.018. And I can change the size of it because I don't like the way it's connected where the 6 is. I want to make it a little bit smaller and bring it down to 0.097. I think that's what I used. And then I will click apply. And I'm going to change the color of that offset to navy blue. I'm going back in. I'm going to select my second text, which is called Insta Story signature or something like that. I'll make sure whatever the font is, I'll make sure it's linked below. Instastory, yes, signature. And I'm adding the word 17 on top. And I'm going to change this to red, and it actually ended up being white. You'll see me cut this. But what I should have done was added an offset to this, but it still turned out nice. So you'll see that later. Now, I am going to add some glyphs, and I'm using an app called Word Character Map UWP. And it is a free app in the Microsoft Store. I have done several tutorials on this process. When you're using this app, you have to make sure that whichever font you're working with in Cricut Design Space is the same font that you're working with in the character map. You don't have to use this character map. Most computers come with a standard character map. I only like to use this one because I can see the glyphs a lot bigger. So you can see my text, and I have welded it. And now I'm just going to resize it so that it fits proportionately with the 76. And once again, this right here will be a matter of personal preference. However, I'm going to learn when it's time for this text to be cut that I definitely should have added an offset to thicken this up a little bit. Thankfully, I was able to get through it. But if you are going to be using this font or a similar thin font, make sure you thicken it up a little bit by adding an offset to it. Now I'm also going to add text at the bottom. And I used, this is a font duo, the Insta Story signature. It comes with like a standard font. And, I decided not to use the signature font at the bottom, but I mean, it looks really nice, especially if I spell the word right. America the Beautiful looks really, really pretty with that font, but I used the other one. And because this one is also thin, I learned that I should have added an offset. You'll see that once it's time for this to be cut and weeded. Everything looks pretty good. I'm just going to make sure everything is centered. And then I'll click Make. And once I get to the Prepare screen, you'll see that everything will be mirrored except for the fabric layer. Yeah, I'm on the Prepare screen. I am cutting all of this mirrored except the fabric layer. I'm going to use the cotton setting because I'm not putting anything behind the fabric, and you'll see that that's not actually going to work out, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's do all of our settings and then we'll go back to the camera. Okay, the first layer I'm going to cut is the Siser Easyweed Adhesive. It is cut with the shiny side down. So you can see one side is shiny and one side is like glossy. The shiny side is what goes on the mat. And now that I'm looking at this, it doesn't look like it's cut at all. I can faintly see it like right here. So I'm going to send it to cut one more time just to be on the safe side. Now I have my fabric on the mat and I don't have anything behind it. So I did insert the rotary blade because that was what was requested by the Cricut. However, it went through one cut and then I got a notification that there was a critical error and I needed to restart the Cricut. So I was afraid that it wouldn't cut in the same place, and every time I tried to cut it again, I kept getting the critical error. So I ended up putting the fine point blade back in the machine and using the cotton bonded setting, even though there's nothing on the back of my fabric. All right, let's see if it cut all the way through. Okay, it did not. So I'm going to press the flashing C and let it go again. Okay, it's asking me to restart the machine, so I'll do that and run it again since I had to restart the machine. It's asking me to restart it again, so that's not good. I'm going to try the cotton bonded setting, and I want to use my regular blade, but I'm going to put it on less pressure and see if that helps. It's cutting. So the cut is not perfect, but it's cut, so I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on with Cricut, but what I would suggest is maybe using a purple mat. I want to cut this again because it's still not cut all the way through. So I want to click the C and let it cut one more time. See? So it's somewhat cut. You know, I would just clean it up maybe with my blade, but I'm not gonna send it through again, all right? And maybe you won't have this problem with your Cricut, but for some reason, using this made me have to restart my Cricut multiple times. I'm not sure what's going on, but let's continue. I'm gonna use my scissors to clean this up a little bit instead of letting it cut one more time. And it's fine because it's gonna be covered up anyway with the Stripflock Pro. Let's continue. Okay, what I'm doing now is just getting all my layers together, and I'm going to weed all of the Stripflock. My suggestion is be careful. You see I messed up the black layer almost immediately, but I was still able to use it. We're just going to weed the outside layers, leaving that thick layer around the outside. And you'll see my mistake towards the end of the video once I'm actually pressing the shirt, because I did not layer this properly. Once I got to the red layer, I realized I had made a big mistake. I should have added an offset to that layer. So I ended up putting this piece in the trash and going back into Cricut Design Space and starting from scratch. We're at the heat press. I'm going to start like I always do with a pre-press and crease. Just doing 5 seconds. The temperature is set to 275 degrees Fahrenheit because that's the temperature that's required for the Siser Easyweed Adhesive. I'm going to press that layer first and then I'll peel it. The Easyweed Adhesive is a hot peel and it's going to feel really weird when you are peeling it away, but we'll see that here shortly. Okay, so it looks like it's white when I first press it down. I'm not putting anything on top. I am making sure it's centered and 3 fingers from the bottom of the collar of my shirt, 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 seconds. So since it is a hot peel, I am going to peel it away. It feels like it's like the whole thing is coming off, but it's not. It's going to leave like a sticky adhesive on your shirt, and instead of being that white or that like matte color, it'll just look like it's shiny black on my shirt. And now let's go back over to the table and I'll show you how I plan to add the fabric on top of the Easyweed adhesive. Now we're back at the table and you can see how this is all going to come together. You can also see, you're going to see that I'm getting ready to actually make a mistake right here. I mean, it might be considered that as a mistake, but it just depends on how you look at it. What I'm doing is adding the fabric on top. And what I'm going to do is add the white Stripflock Pro on top of this. But in hindsight, I really should have added the navy blue Stripflock Pro on top. But you'll see and you can decide. Like, let me know later. Don't even comment about it right now, but let me know later in the video. Do you think I should have added the navy blue layer first and then add the white layer last? Or would you have done it this way also? You can't really decide right now until you see it all come together. But I really thought that this was the right way to do it, but you'll see. Stay tuned for that second press and you'll see why I was a little bit confused at the way it all turned out. But we have it layered now. Let's go back over to the heat press. I've already increased the temperature. The temperature for pressing Stripflock Pro is 310 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. And I am going to press this first layer. Now, the really good thing about it is that the Stripflock is adding an additional layer of protection for my fabric. And already I can tell you this looks phenomenal. I love it. Now I'm going to add the navy blue layer on top, and you can kind of start to see what I mean by should I have added the navy blue layer first and then the white layer on top. You see what I mean? Where's my white layer? It's completely gone. Good thing I still love the way this looks. Like, I really still love it. But I was kind of undecided on what I should do because I added that white layer for a reason and now it's non-existent. Now I'm going to add the 17, and I think I should have made this a little bit more bold. Like, I should have added an offset to it to make it really stand out. And then I'm going to add the red Stripflock Pro at the bottom, and I'll press this once again 310 15 seconds, and we'll go back over to the table to get a final look at it, and you can give me your thoughts about it. Peeling this first layer, and if you could really hear me, you would know how much I love it. I think it looks really nice. I also think that white offset would have popped, but I just didn't do it right. So, if you are planning to follow this process, make sure you add the navy blue layer first and then the white on top to give it that extra little razzle dazzle. But I love this so much. I also think I probably should have used white Stripflock at the bottom, but I love this overall, and hopefully you do too. Let me know if you are going to try this and if you are going to add the white on top or do the navy blue like I did. But if you found this helpful, please remember to do the things, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.